Today, we're going to explore a really profound shift in how our societies are structured. You see, we're moving away from what we've known as the information society and heading towards something entirely new, an era of unified intelligence. Let's break down exactly what that means.
Now, this analysis is based on the work of Professor Vihar Kiskanov. He argues that maybe we've been looking at societal evolution all wrong. He suggests that the real driver of change isn't our main economic resource, land, then energy, then data. He says it's something much more fundamental, our ever-deepening integration with technology itself.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll lay out this new model of society. Then, we'll take a journey through 3 key stages of our integration with technology: where we are now, where we're going, and what's on the far horizon. After that, we'll dig into why our legal systems are struggling to keep up, take a look at how Europe is responding, and finally, consider the future role of law in this brave new world. Okay, let's start with a really foundational question. Why isn't our old way of thinking about societies, based on what they produce, good enough anymore to understand the world we're actually living in?
For a long time, we've seen societal evolution as this nice, neat, straight line. You had agrarian societies that ran on land, industrial societies that ran on energy, and our more recent information society, which runs on data. It's a clean model, but it's missing the bigger picture. The new model suggests the real engine of change isn't the resource, but our relationship with technology, and just how deeply we're merging with it.
So what's the big flaw in that old model? Well, it always saw technology as a passive object, something we just use, like a hammer or a shovel. But let's be honest, that's not the world we live in anymore. We are now in an era where algorithms act on their own, and that completely shifts our relationship from human and tool to something more like human and partner.
This progression here lays it out perfectly. It's a 4-step evolution. We started with technology as a simple tool. Now it's become our environment. Very soon, it's going to become our partner. And if you look far enough down the road, it's poised to become a seamless extension of ourself.
All right, let's dive into the second part of our discussion. We're going to explore these 3 distinct societal models that define not just our present, but our future, starting with the one we're all living in right now. So here we are, today, in the digital society. This is the world you know. Technology is no longer just a tool we pick up and put down, it's the very environment we live, work, and socialize in. And the crucial change here is that value has shifted. It's not just about accessing information anymore, it's about the power of connectivity itself.
And we all live this every single day, don't we? That always-on culture of hyperconnectivity, where our every click and every swipe leaves a digital trace. This has given rise to digital profiling and the so-called economy of attention, where our focus has become the ultimate prize. And of course, there's our deep reliance on these huge global platforms that have become our new public squares, except they're owned and operated by corporations.
So what's just over the horizon? The hybrid society. And listen, this isn't some distant science fiction fantasy. This is the future that governments and major corporations are actively building right now. In this kind of society, humans and AI will work in a real symbiosis, acting as cognitive partners to make decisions together.
What's really fascinating here is the total shift in dynamics. We're moving away from a reactive relationship with our tech, where we have to ask for help, to a proactive one, where AI actually anticipates what we need. This is all driven by co-intelligence, this idea that a human-AI team is way more capable than either one alone. And it'll be facilitated by emotionally intelligent interfaces that can actually adapt to our state of mind. Finally, let's look out to the most distant horizon, the unified intelligent society. This is the point where the line between our own thoughts and technological assistance just disappears. Technology becomes a seamless, functional extension of our own minds, an exocortex, if you will. I mean, think of it like an external hard drive for your brain, but one that's perfectly, instantly integrated with your thoughts. Let's just pause for a second and think about what this really implies. We're talking about cognitive continuity, where there's zero delay, zero friction between your thoughts and the machine's actions. Your intentions get amplified by AI agents that are basically extensions of your own personality. And you might have a functional digital twin that's capable of making business deals and signing legal contracts for you. It's a complete game changer.
So, this incredibly rapid technological evolution presents a huge challenge.
Our legal frameworks, which, let's face it, were built for an industrial world of physical objects and clear national borders, are now seriously struggling to keep pace with these new, borderless digital realities. This table does a great job of bringing that paradigm shift to life. If you look at the digital society column, that's us, right now, you see a philosophy of connectivity, reactive interactions, AI as an instrument, and humans making the final call. Now, look over at the hybrid society of tomorrow. The philosophy becomes symbiosis. Interactions are proactive. AI is a co-pilot, and decisions are made jointly. It's a whole new world.
Let's make this really concrete. Think about the evolution of a lawyer. In the old information society, they were manually searching databases. Today, in our digital society, they use software to help automate drafting contracts. In the near-future hybrid society, an AI co-pilot will be analyzing deals in real time, suggesting better clauses. And in the unified society, the lawyer just sets a strategic goal, and their AI agent goes off and autonomously negotiates and finalizes the perfect contract.
This brings us to some very difficult, very fundamental questions. In a world of hybrid decision-making, who's legally responsible when something goes wrong? What legal standing does an AI agent even have? And what does the concept of privacy even mean when our minds are so deeply intertwined with technology?
Now, in the face of all these challenges, the European Union is trying to take a proactive stance. It's not just sitting back and reacting to technological change, it's actively trying to shape a digital future that aligns with its core values.
The EU is charting a course it calls the Third Way, or digital humanism. This is a very conscious effort to create an alternative to the two dominant models we see in the world, the American approach of market liberalism, where data is basically a commodity, and the Chinese model of digital authoritarianism, where data is a tool for state control.
And as you can see from this timeline, this isn't some new, sudden idea. The EU has been working to shape the digital landscape for decades. From the early telematics programs way back in the 1970s, right up to the landmark AI Act of today, it really shows a consistent, long-term strategic vision.
And this vision is backed by very concrete, very ambitious targets for the year 2030. The focus is on three key areas: developing the digital skills of the population, fully digitizing public services, and building a really robust digital infrastructure for everyone. These are the essential building blocks of the EU's vision for a human-centric digital future.
And so we arrive at our conclusion, where we see the role of law itself undergoing a fundamental transformation. It can no longer just be a reactive referee of events. It must now become the chief architect of the digital reality we are all building together. This brings us to a fundamental tension of our age, the rule of law versus the rule of code. The rule of law, as we know it, is founded on principles like fairness and legitimacy, and it's designed to protect us from the arbitrary exercise of power. The rule of code, on the other hand, is driven by efficiency and speed, a world where what is technically possible often becomes what is accepted. The critical question for our future is, which of these will ultimately govern our digital lives?
And this leaves us with a final and pretty profound question to ponder. As technology evolves from being a mere tool to becoming an actual extension of our own will, what will the ultimate purpose of our laws be? Will it be to build a firewall to protect our core human identity and our autonomy? Or will its final job be to simply manage the terms of our surrender to a more efficient, unified intelligence?